This has been a very fantastic experience for me. I did not want to do it, but my mindset became that I was failing so miserably that either I did something to change that or I needed to get off the pot, you know?
Yep.
And I decided to do something to change it, and it has absolutely changed everything, the way I think, the way I do things. I do not dread my power hour every day. I don't dread interacting with people, and that has everything to do with Eric and Mike, actually, in the Teamzy boot camp. It has been fantastic for me.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I mean, I can't really ask for a better introduction than that. So we are recording this call, by the way. So you guys will have the recording of it. So let's just dive in, and thank you for that, Denise. I appreciate that, and I am very humbled and grateful to know that we've been able to help you along on your journey. So hopefully we can help the rest of y'all tonight too. So my name is Eric Johnson, creator and CEO of Teamzy, and tonight I will show you Teamzy, which is a software application. It's designed to make your life so easy. Okay, you should be able to get all of your income producing activity done in less than an hour a day for your business. Can I get an amen on that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
However, there's more to it than just the software. There's also a philosophy and an approach to how we do business. And I know some of you were attracted to, never be salesy, never be cheesy with Teamzy. And so I want to talk to you a little bit tonight about relationship marketing as well. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about relationship marketing. Then I'll show you how to set up Teamzy and how to crush a power hour. Okay. So let's just dive right on in. At the end, of course, we'll do a Q&A. So if you guys have questions, you can ask them. I am going to mute everybody, just, for obvious reasons. But if you feel the spirit move you and you want to unmute yourself, I'm going to leave that ability for you. Okay, here we go. Where am I going? First and foremost, I've got this presentation. Here we go. How to systemize your success with relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. Systemize your success with relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. So there's a few pieces. I'm going to teach you relationship marketing, which is an approach and a philosophy. You're going to systemize it so that you know what to do every day, so that it's easy to duplicate with your team. And we're going to do it in less than an hour a day. Okay. All right. So just to give you a little bit of my backstory, you guys already heard me talking about the fact that I live in California. I've been a professional business coach and consultant for 20 years now. And Denise mentioned my good buddy, my brother from another mother and business partner, Mike Lopez. When he and I did the math on this the other day, we were like, wow, it's been 20 years. Can't believe it that we've been doing this. And we've been focused on helping people build a business based on relationships. Okay. And we're not network marketing people. We haven't been in the network marketing industry since, people were renting rooms at the Holiday Inn. Like, that's just not our background. Our background is helping business owners. We've worked with every kind of business you can imagine, from attorneys to real estate brokerages. About, how many years ago now? I guess it was about 6 or 7 years ago, I fell into the network marketing world by accident. And some of you guys can relate. I found some products that really helped me personally. They helped me lose weight. I felt amazing. And I was just excited about them. I had at that time a great career going on. I was making good money. I had a fancy office, all that stuff, pretty business cards, the whole thing. But I was also kind of stuck. I was in a place where I really needed to earn a little bit more money, and there was nowhere left for me to grow in my carer. Because, as I mentioned, I live in Southern California, just paying the mortgage, right? You got to have 6 jobs. And also I have this amazing family. Here's a shot of the family. I was always working and I never got to see my family. So these were my 2 things. I needed to have a little bit more money, but at the same time, I didn't want to work more and never see these people. And so I was kind of stuck. Well, when I stumbled into the network marketing opportunity, I thought, this is a great opportunity. I already love these products. And this is an opportunity for me to make income that could grow and grow and grow, right? Also, it's an opportunity for me to create some time flexibility so I could be with my family. So I was very excited about it. And so it kind of started as a little side hustle. And some of you guys know this story. Some of you guys have lived this story. The side hustle started picking up steam, but the problem was I didn't have time. I just didn't have time to build the business. Do any of you guys struggle with when are you going to work on this business? And so I was already working, full time, trying to make everything happen. So I started looking for tools that would help me leverage the little bit of time that I have. This is the first thing I would do if you were my consulting client. I'd say, hey, let's find some things to help you leverage that little bit of time you have. And so long story short, what I needed was Teamzy. It's just nobody had built it yet. So we built Teamzy. I built it for myself. I shared it with via text message with 20 people that I knew who were also trying to build the business. And the next thing I know, fast forward 5 years, we've had 150,000 people use Teamzy, which is crazy. And I need to update these slides clearly. It's been a little while since I've done a Xyngular team call. I need to update my slide, but we just passed, 12/16 will be 5 years. It's my son's birthday. So December 16th will be 5 years for Teamzy, which is pretty cool. And just to kind of give you guys an idea of results that people in Xyngular are getting, the Xyngular results are insane. And I have to apologize. I'm going to apologize publicly for some of the supply chain issues you guys had earlier this year, because I know that we were part of the problem, helping people be so productive and selling and recruiting. But active people using Teamzy actively, Xyngular people, doing what I'm going to show you tonight. They've been averaging 36 customers and 14 recruits added to the business over 90 days. Those numbers are huge. I just want you guys to know those numbers are much bigger than we've seen in other networks. So you guys are special, and I'm glad that you're part of our family, we're part of yours. But those numbers are awesome numbers. How many of you guys would like that, your first 90 days of 2021 to look like that? Okay, great. You're in the right place. So let's dive into what relationship marketing is. What is relationship marketing? Have you guys heard this term before? It's starting to become a buzzword. After 20 years of teaching this, suddenly people are like, oh, I know what that is. The problem is most people don't know what it is. So let me kind of give you my definition. First off, it's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. Okay? We put relationships and people ahead of sales and products. It's not some abstract feel-good concept, where we're going to all sit around holding hands and singing Kumbaya at the end of this call because it's relationship marketing. This is a proven system that we follow, always knowing what to do next. Okay, it's a proven system that we follow, always knowing what to do next. You guys saw the picture of my kids. They look pretty well fed, right? This is the system I've been teaching for 20 years. And it works. That's why my kids are well fed. Okay. Fine. Also, I want you guys to understand about relationship marketing is that it's a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. This is an important thing to understand because your job is not to be just salespeople for Xyngular products. You're the owners of your own business. And as a business owner, the first decision you make in your business is which lead generation system will you use to build your business? Right now, I happen to think relationship marketing is the superior one. Also because everybody can do it. You don't have to be a special hardcore person to do it. You just have to love people. How many of you guys love people? All right, then you're in the right place. This is where a couple of people drop off the Zoom. I don't love people. I'm out of here. Just kidding. Okay, here's the principle on this, though. I want you guys to understand is that as business owners, you're in the lead generation business. You're in the lead generation business. Your job is to create leads for the business. Now, think about other businesses, like pretend you own a business that's not network marketing, a traditional brick and mortar business. The owner's job is to bring leads to the business, right? They hire employees to do the work, but the owner's job is to bring leads into the business. That's your job as the owner of your business. Does this make sense? Now, here's the next piece that I love. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So we're going to generate leads. In other words, we're going to meet people so that we can build relationships with them. That's as simply as I can put it. We're going to meet people so that we can build relationships with them, not so we can try to sell them something, not so that we can try to recruit them or make sure they've seen our opportunity. We're going to meet them so that we can build relationships with them. Are you guys with me? The other stuff happens as a consequence of that relationship. Because what we do with relationships is we turn them into advocates. We turn relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. I want you guys to know that an advocate is somebody who's so excited about what you're doing that they feel compelled to tell others about it. Okay? And just as we get into this tonight, I just want you guys to wrap your head around this concept. There are many people who will say no to your products. They will say no to your opportunity, but yes, they will be your advocate. And we're trained to treat no's as somebody to throw away. But I'm telling you, so many people are, it's not for me, but they're so excited about what you're doing. They will tell other people and bring people to your business. Does this make sense? So we're going to treat, I want you guys to have the mindset that every person you talk to is going to be so fired up about your mission that they are going to become your advocate eventually. I came into this call right now. I'm looking, there's 25 of you on the call with me. I expect every one of you to be fired up about me and my mission by the end of this call. That's my expectation. I'm going to invest everything I have into this call because I want all of you to be advocates. Will all of you sign up for Teamzy? Probably not. But all of you are going to leave this call going, when somebody comes across this need, you're going to go, you need to go check out Teamzy. Does this make sense? So we invest in people to turn them into advocates. Okay, next principle. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't going to work. How many of you guys have seen somebody in our industry who you could honestly say that person's a jerk? Unfortunately, we kind of all have seen people do things that are shady and tricky and disingenuous, which is why our industry has a bad reputation. Have you guys come across people who are very skeptical when you're trying to talk to them about what you're doing? There's a reason for that. That's because just about everything that's being taught out there violates the feeling of trust with people. But since relationship marketing depends on trust, you're never going to have to be icky or salesy. You're never going to have to do anything disingenuous. In fact, I would tell you, please don't. But here's the good news. Trust makes the work fun. You don't have to convince people. You don't have to sell them. When they trust you even a little bit, you can get right to helping them, right? Isn't that why we're here? Also, trust removes the ickiness from the sales process. You're never going to feel like an icky salesperson, and you're never going to make your friends or family feel icky after you've approached them. Finally, you get to go for yes. You get to go for yes. Our industry revolves around the concept of going for no, the idea that you're going to get rejected a lot and you should keep on going. Have you guys heard that sort of stuff? Every no gets you closer to a yes. How many of you guys like to be rejected? I could take maybe, I'll be honest with you guys, I could take maybe 10 no's before I'm out of the business. I'm very wimpy when it comes to rejection. Can anybody relate to this? I mean, let's just be honest. With this approach, you don't get rejection. You get to go for yeses. You get to go for yeses. Honestly, every person we interact with, we leave them feeling better about the interaction and we move on from there. It's really great. So for those of you who don't like rejection, there is a program where you can build people up and not get rejected constantly. So how do you do it? How do you build the trust? I'm going to share with you the 4 essential ingredients for building trust, and then we'll dive into Teamzy. But real quick, I just want you guys to have these. Here they are, rapid fire, and then I'll explain them. First is chemistry. The first essential ingredient to building trust is chemistry. Okay, chemistry. Number 2 is character. Character. Number 3 is competence. Okay, competence is number 3. Number 4, consistency. Consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. All right. So let's talk about chemistry. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? The easiest way to remember this is this, guys. People want to do business with a friend. People want to do business with a friend. Nobody wants to do business with someone they don't like. Okay? So you have to find out what you have in common with people. You have to make that connection. You have to build that rapport. That's the first thing we need to do, is start finding that. Does this make sense? Can I just tell you how starved people are for interaction? Oh, yeah, hold on. I just got to tell you guys this story because this really impacted me yesterday. People right now want to interact so badly. You know, they were already, if we had this call a year ago, I would be telling you people are craving connection. They're feeling disconnected. After what we've been through in 2020, they're really feeling disconnected. I went to a neighbor's home yesterday evening that lives a couple miles from my house to buy a used playhouse for my daughter's birthday. Okay. I don't know, Heather, was that a yawn or you think I'm funny? I think it's both. Okay. So I go to buy this used playhouse, and now I don't have a truck because, as I told you, I'm in California, not Texas, right? So I have an SUV. So I had to disassemble this thing. So I'm the parents that are selling me this house, they came out, they give me the house, I'm in the driveway. I go, okay, great. I'm just going to disassemble it, throw it in my SUV and off. And they're like, okay, great. So I'm getting out my drill and I'm taking the screws out. And they're standing there in the driveway with me having conversation, just like having, I'm like working and talking to them and they're talking to me. And I said, you guys are so nice. I mean, you don't have to, you don't have to, stay out here with me. I totally understand if you want to go inside and go about your evening or whatever. I'm fine out here. And they said, you know what? It's okay. We don't get to talk to people very much anymore. And the whole 20 minutes I was out there disassembling this playhouse, they were just following me around, talking to me, asking me about Teamzy. They wanted to know about people like you. Do you guys understand how much people want to connect with people right now? Does this make sense? I want you guys to get this, because what I'm going to show you tonight and everything I'm going to teach you is about reaching out, connecting with people, and making their day, making people feel amazing. And in the process, making yourself feel great, not, as Denise said, not dreading doing your work, but actually enjoying it. Right. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys because I couldn't believe it. Here's this couple selling me their used playhouse, and they wanted to just hang out. I was waiting for them to ask for my phone number so that we could talk more later. They were just so into that conversation. But I want you guys to understand how important this is to build chemistry, to talk to people, find out what you have in common, right? Build some rapport. Number 2 is character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Character is not something we carry around, or something that we possess. I mean, here's the newsflash. You don't actually have character. Character is something you do, and it has to be repeated daily. This is how people know that you have characters, when they see you showing them that you care for them. It also is part of you being relatable, how you tell your story, that they understand you're just like them. Does this make sense? I want you guys to think of character as a lens that you look at everything that you do and say, how will this show other people how much I care for them? In how you follow up with people, how you communicate with people, how you take care of your customers and your teammates. But it's even beyond that. It's how you treat people in the world. It's how you drive your car on the highway. Are you courteous to other people? How many of you guys have a Xyngular something on your car that says Xyngular, Zing, big X, whatever? And then if you cut somebody off in traffic, how's that look for the brand, right? So we want to think about our character. Do you return the shopping cart in the Target parking lot? Like, these are little things that show people your character, and it's important. How we post on social media. Is it all about me, my opinions? Or is this a value for people? Character is something people are constantly evaluating. Does this make sense? By the way, if you find that you're kind of a little bit too aggressive on the driving, just a little side note, like if you're an aggressive driver, you wish you were more courteous. One thing that works great, you could put Xyngular on your car, but what really works great is an expression of faith. Like, let's say, for example, you're like, if you're a Christian person like I am, and you put something about Christ on your bumper, that's going to force you to be a better driver, right? Because you're representing a brand that's bigger than you. I'm just saying, my wife's license plate it spells faith, hope, and love. It's a personalized plate. And people will pull up to me at stoplights and say, love your license plate. You want to talk about something that makes sure that you're courteous, just having that on your thing and living that out. I'm just saying. So sometimes we need a little help. Okay, so all joking aside, chemistry, character. The third one is competence. Competence. This is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. There's 2 pieces to it. You're good at what you do and you're a business person. If I need help, if I have a problem that you can solve, do I believe you know how to help me? Do I believe you know what you're doing? Right? I have a lot of people to choose from. Just on this Zoom, I have a lot of people to choose from at Xyngular. Why should I choose you? Why should I have you be my coach? Does this make sense? You need to show me that you can help, that you're competent. I need to see it. And it's not, I don't want you to think it's about your before and after story, because it's not. It could be. I mean, if you have a great before and after story, that helps, right? Because you can say, hey, I did it. But it's more than that. It's just demonstrating your competence, that you're learning, that you're understanding these things, that you understand how nutrition works now, that you understand how weight works now, that you understand how energy works now. Does this make sense? And so people need to know you're competent. If you're new, you need to start learning like crazy, and you need to learn in public. In other words, when you learn something, share it. I just learned this today. Did you know this? Hey guys, check this out. My mentor just taught me this. So you start sharing what you're learning so that your friends and family who've seen you with your pants on backwards, let's be honest, they can now believe that you're becoming competent in this field. Does it make sense? Yeah. And the other piece is, it's the same thing for the business. I mean, why am I going to join your team? Why am I going to join your team? When I was 19 years old, I got into network marketing and I bought like $5,000 worth of water filters that I had in my parents' garage. And boy, did I try to sell those to everybody. And so as a grown up now, not that 19 is not grown up, but you guys are with me, right? As somebody in my 30s, late 30s, trying to do a network marketing business, I had friends from that had known me then that said, is this like the water filter thing that you tried to do back then? Right? Like what are they saying? Do you know what you're doing? Are you guys with me? So it's like you have to demonstrate that you're competent, that you're good at what you do, that you're a competent coach to help people if you want them to be your customer. And they need to know that you're learning the business if you want them to join your team. Now, real quick on this. If you're new, I don't want you to pretend like you're competent when you're not. What you need to do is talk about and share stories about your team and your upline. You need people to know who you're connected with. They need to know that you're part of a winning team. They need to know that they can be part of a winning team if they join you. Does this make sense? And then over time, have you guys ever noticed that the successful people, like, gosh, why is it so easy for executives to recruit people? Right? Well, because they have built that competence over time. They have demonstrated it and they have a confidence that comes with it. Does this make sense? But you just remember that those executives that you look up to are on your team too. So you need to let people know this is who's on my team. This is who we're working with. Does this make sense? So the first three ingredients to building trust: chemistry, character, competence. There's a principle behind these, and we'll jump to number 4, and I'll take you to Teamzy. Here's the principle. When somebody's going to do business with you, they really only care about these 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Now, these aren't questions that they'll ask you out loud. These are things they feel in their heart. But these questions are magical. I see Peggy taking pictures of the screen. Make sure you write these down, guys, because I'm going to tell you why this is so important. If somebody says, yes, I can trust this person, they care about me, they're good at what they do, you have an advocate. You have an advocate. You have somebody who not only will be loyal to you, but they will bring people to you. That's the goal. If somebody's not sure, I'm not sure how they feel about these, then you'll get objections. Have you guys ever had objections? Yep. So you'll get objections. They're not sure. That means it's your job to continue building the relationship, investing and building trust, right? Objections are fine. Objections are actually really good because it's people basically telling you, I'm not sure about these things, but I'm giving you an opportunity to help me feel better about it. Does that make sense? So objections are good. But when somebody knows that the answer is no to one or more of these questions, guess what? They will never do business with you. If they know you don't care about them, if they know they can't trust you, if they don't think you're good at what you do, they will never do business with you. And even more, they'll probably tell others not to too. Does this make sense? This is the kind of stuff, I mean, I can go show you the software. I'm going to show it to you in a second. But you got to understand these things. Business is heart driven. And it's conducted heart to heart. And all of the crapola that's happening right now in our country can be tied back to people forgetting that fact and how they've done business. Does it make sense? But we get to make a difference in our communities, in the people we help and the people we work with. Okay, number 4 is consistency. Sorry, guys, you got to actually do work. Getting your heart in the right place is part of it, but then you got to actually do work. It's about being consistent, right? Everything that we want to be successful in, we have to be consistent with. And if you want people to trust you, you got to be consistent. Anybody who says, trust me, probably shouldn't be trusted, right? The person who says, watch my feet, I'm going to do it over and over and over the same way, those are the people you trust. Consistency is where it's at. This is how we build trust. Now, I love this principle too about consistency. Besides it being an amazing way for you to be successful doing things consistently and to build trust with others, people respect consistency and desire it for themselves. What does this mean? It means that people are attracted to you because of your consistency. So the consistency helps you be successful It helps you build trust, and it draws people to you and to your team. They want to be around it. How many of you guys are just in love with this team and the culture and the company and all of that? Like even more so than the rest of it now. That's what it is. It's when we go about our normal lives with our normal circle of relationships, there's not that many people consistently striving for something. But in a community like this, people are, right? The consistency, we respect it. We want it around us. We desire it for ourselves. Consistency is the magic part of this business. See, we got to be consistent. How many of you guys, just by a show of hands, how many of you are consistent products of your own product? Meaning you've got the products, you're using them as part of your lifestyle. People know, okay, good. Hopefully everybody, because this ain't going to work if you're not a product of the product, right? How about social media? How many of you guys are consistently posting on social media? You're sharing your story, your journey's out there. That's good, right? This is an important part. How many of you guys are, it's a secret and nobody knows you do Xyngular? You'd be surprised how many people that's the situation they're in. So I want to encourage you guys to get out there and be public consistently. It's important. But the real checkup from the neck up on this, guys, is this. Are you as consistent with your relationships? It's easy to take the product every day, maybe post on social media, but are you as consistent with staying in touch with people? Staying in touch with people. The only thing that really matters in this business is staying in touch with people. Okay? This is, Zig Ziglar would say, the checkup from the neck up. And I know you're not, which is why you're sitting here listening to me talk to you tonight. You're hoping I can help you with this, and I can, don't worry. You got to keep in mind that relationship building is a contact sport. You have to be in regular contact with people if you want to build relationships. If you hired me as a consultant and said, Eric, how do I build my business? I would say, make a list of everybody you've ever met in your life and stay in regular contact with them. And you would say, how in the world am I going to fit that into my day? Right? I know your time is scarce, but don't worry. That's why I built Teamzy. It makes it easy. Here's the principle. This is our big principle for the day. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Okay? If you're taking notes, get this down. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Now, real quick on this before I jump into Teamzy, I just want to highlight this example. And if you guys have your cameras off, turn them on for a second so I can see your faces. Oh, you mostly have them on. That's great. Okay, good. Cool. Love it. Okay, great. Unless you're not dressed, you can keep it off if that's the case. I tell the story sometimes where I was on a Zoom like this and the wife was on the Zoom call and the husband didn't know that she was, and he comes out of the shower and walks through the background and everybody's like, yeah, can't live that one down. Okay, so we took that one off of YouTube. We didn't keep that piece. We edited that piece. Just real quick, I want to ask you guys a question. How many of you have ever received, so we're talking about this principle, investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. This is the principle I want to talk to you about. How many of you have ever received a card or a letter from somebody that you love that had a handwritten message, you know, the kind of message where it's like, oh, you just got me right in the heart. I mean, right? Everybody? Hopefully everybody. Okay. If you've never received a card or letter like that, raise your hand. We're going to all write you one. Okay. Now, the next question is, you all thought of at least one when I asked you that question. Do you still have it somewhere? How many of you guys save these and you've got a stack somewhere that it's so hard to get rid of them, isn't it? How many of you have moved and looked at that box and said, do I really need to move this with me? And then you ended up moving it with you. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how much we value them, even if we never look at them again, just to know they're there. You know, what's interesting is even after we pass on, often our family would keep those letters and cards and, you know, treasured above anything else we leave behind. How many of you guys have a letter or a card from a loved one or that was sent to a loved one that's no longer with us that you've saved? Isn't that incredible? How much we value that? Now, here's another example. Happy birthday postcard. Can you guys see this? So this is a happy birthday postcard that I received from my life insurance salesperson. Do you guys ever get these sometimes from businesses? Yeah. So this one's a little beat up because it's had water spilled on it. The dog has got at it, but I keep it to show as an example. So this is a nice little happy birthday postcard that I got from my life insurance salesperson. The one person you actually never want to talk to is your life insurance salesperson, right? You hope you never need them. So anyways, this is a little birthday card. So do you guys keep these? Do these go in the special place? Do you save these in your special? No, these get thrown away, right? I mean, it's kind of like that was nice and then they get tossed. What's the difference though? Why doesn't this have any value? Now let's go back to the principle. Investing time and connecting with people. This required no investment of time. We know this. So we put no value on it. They invested no time. We put no value on it. The other piece is this is not a personal connection. This is a bulk mail out. It's impersonal, right? So the two things that would make our relationship impacted by it are not being met. It's not personal and it requires no time. We put zero value on this. Now, this is important because I want you guys to understand what I'm going to teach you in Teamzy. We've created a system that helps you connect personally and invest time in people. You don't have to invest a lot of time, but it's still time invested in just them. And that's what makes the impact. Does this make sense? What I have in my hand is what is an example of automated marketing. Have you guys ever heard the term automated marketing? Doesn't it sound so seductive? You just buy it and it takes care of itself. How many of you guys would sign up for that? The problem is when it's received, it's not valued. Does this make sense? It's not valued. So don't be seduced by anything that says it's automatic. It needs to be personal. What you need is a system that will help you be personal without taking all day. Does this make sense? And that is what makes an impact in the business. That's why you see such tremendous numbers, like I showed you in the very beginning slides, that people are getting, applying the system consistently. Okay, so let's get in here and we'll get to Teamzy. I think I've got just one more slide here. So this is all great, but here's what I want you guys to take away from this. You need a system. You can't just have philosophy. You got to have a system to apply. You need a way to stay in contact with all of your relationships. Know when you're going to contact them. In other words, don't spend a lot of time thinking and planning. Just know who's up. Know what you're going to say. If you're like me, I used to stare at the screen and wonder what to say and end up wasting all my time not doing anything. How many of you guys get that stuck there? And you want to make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. You want to make sure that nobody falls through the cracks because that sends the wrong message, which I'll explain in a minute. It sends the message that we don't care, right? Okay, so let's dive into Teamzy. I'm going to show you the system I'm referring to. And let me put this back on speaker. Great. Yeah, okay, great. I got Teamzy open. First off, I want to tell you guys, if you're not already using Teamzy, go to teamzy.com/Xyngular. Teamzy.com/Xyngular, and you can get a 30-day free trial. Okay. Free access. So we don't ask for your credit card or anything weird. You can get in there and use it up. And I'll talk about this a little bit at the end, but after your 30 days, if you're in love with Teamzy, which I hope you will be, you can continue on at a special rate, discounted because of the sponsorship with Xyngular Corporate for almost 34% off what we charge elsewhere. So it's a pretty great deal for Xyngular people. Okay, so I've just logged into a new account at Teamzy. This is the first screen of the setup wizard. So once you get in there, it's going to help you set it up. This is designed for people who are not techie. That's me. I'm not techie. So if you guys have, some of you guys know my background. I'm not techie. I wanted this technology to make my life easier, not more complicated. So you just follow these steps. It's very simple. There's a little video from me. Let's skip it. Okay. First thing we're going to do is set your income goal. How much money do you want to be earning a year from now? So just set your number. So you can see my number is 150,000. So is your number bigger than that? Is it less than that? What's your number? So you slide this little slider around, and what it does is as you move it, it changes the daily targets. Okay. So just a little word to the wise, if you're already making great income with your business, you're going to set this to be the difference in income. So if you're making 100,000 now and you want to make 200,000, your goal in Teamzy is 100,000. Does it make sense? Okay. So I had my goal at 150 because that was the salary I was trying to replace so that I could spend time with my kids. Now to do that, Teamzy is telling me I need to connect with 9 prospects each day, 6 customers each day, and 4 distributors. Okay. If you guys are good at math, that's 19 connects. And I've been using Teamzy for a little while. So for me, that's 15 minutes work. Isn't that crazy? A day. Now, let's call it 30, 40 minutes work for you guys that are new. It's still pretty quick. Okay, so once you have this where you want it, click on continue. Now what happens is it actually sets up Teamzy to your goals, okay? So Teamzy is now configured to that goal. And we get to the next page where we can import contacts. You can import your, you get your back office, your team in there, your customers. You can get all your Facebook friends in one import. It's super cool. Anywhere else you have contacts, you get them in here. Your Gmail contacts, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, whatever. Get everybody in there. You don't have to think about a list. You just start importing all your, right? So cool. I loved that. I'm a big Facebook person. So when I was doing my business, I was like, I can put my Facebook list in here and I'm ready to go. It's pretty awesome. All right. So then once you're ready, you click on launch and you're in your new account. So here's my Teamzy dashboard. Now check this out, you guys. So cool. If you look right here where it says today's activities, these are my goals for today based on the goal for the year. Right? So my goal is to connect with 9 of my prospects, 6 of my customers, 4 of my distributors. I just want you to know I'm not sending some cheesy sales script. I'm not sending them a video to watch. I'm going to reach out to connect just to make their day. Just to make their day. I call it the make someone's day mindset. Okay, write that down. The make someone's day mindset. A power hour is simply reaching out to people and making their day. How cool is that? How cool is that? The reason that we don't send them scripts or links or videos right off the bat is they're going to just run away. They don't want that. We're going to say hello and make their day. They're going to respond. This gives us a chance to create conversations. Are you guys with me? Okay, so we're just going to reach out to make their day. Then this other goal over here, these other 2, shares and ads. Shares, this is when I'm actually sharing the business with somebody, or I'm actually sharing a product solution for a problem they've told me they have. I'm going to log those as shares. My goal of creating conversations is to get 3 shares a day. Does this make sense? So by creating 19 conversations in my example, my goal is that 3 of those will result in a share. Now they might not on the first week I'm doing this. It may take a couple of weeks to get those conversations moving, but over time, my goal is as I'm connecting consistently, I'll get to share 3 times a day and log those. And then I've got a goal to add new people to Teamzy 3 a day. That's my goal, to add new people to Teamzy. You got to always be adding new people. It's important. Even if you have a large number of contacts, you want to be getting introduced, you want to meet new people, create new people on Facebook, finding people on Facebook and Instagram, things like that you're meeting and connecting and get them in your Teamzy so you can start building relationships. So those are my goals for the day: prospects, customers, distributors, shares, and ads. I know that if I hit this goal 5 days a week for a year, I'll hit the annual goal that I made. Okay. Pretty cool. Now you know exactly what to do. You know exactly what to do, guys. 150,000 people using Teamzy. We're pretty darn good on this estimation. Okay. Now, I'm going to scroll down here to the power hour to show you how this works. We'll do a power hour together. So Teamzy is what's called a CRM. Have you guys ever heard of a CRM? That's a contact relationship management software. Big mouthful. CRMs are like electronic Rolodexes or filing cabinets. They keep track of all your contacts, all their information. You track all your conversations in there, so you have records of everything. Okay. Most people in sales-oriented businesses hate CRM. It feels like it complicates their life. It adds work to it. But Teamzy is different because it's not just a filing cabinet that keeps information for you. It's actually your personal assistant. It tells you exactly what you need to be doing today. So, for example, in my Teamzy, I've got a few thousand people, but my Power Hour module right here, it tells me who's up next to communicate with today. Okay, it tells me who's up next to communicate with today. And all I need to do is start messaging the people that are up. Does this make sense? Okay, hold on a second. Let me just add Denise. I forgot to add you to my Teamzy. See how easy it is to add somebody? Super easy. All right, we're just gonna add her real quick. And I gotta set up my ringers. I knew I forgot something. What's today, December? Yeah, I'm just gonna delete this one. All right, so now I've got my ringer set up so I can message Denise as my sample. All right, so whoever's up next, you're gonna send them a message. That's it. Whoever's up next, and it has 4 lists on my Power Hour: prospects, customers, distributors, and any follow-ups I may have set, okay? Over here on the right-hand side is where I log the message I send, so it's tracked as I go. Super easy. So Denise comes up first. I'm gonna send her a message. Now, she and I are Facebook friends, so, I can find her. There she is. She and I are Facebook friends, so I can quickly send her a message on Facebook. Now, this is where I used to get stuck. What do I say? How do I do this without coming across cheesy or salesy or whatever? And it took a lot of practice to figure out how to just make somebody's day, how to get in, make somebody's day, start conversations. And so we eventually put scripts in Teamzy for you. Again, these aren't sales scripts, they're conversational scripts, just ways to get you over your overthinking so that you can keep moving. Make sense? So what I'm going to do is click on scripts right here to get an idea of something to send to her. I'm going to message her on Facebook, so I'll click there. And so there's a bunch of scripts I can use. So I'm going to use the first one. Here's how it reads in case you can't see it. It says, "Hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome." Super simple. In fact, this script is unbelievable. It's worked for so many people. It's so simple. So I clicked on copy script. So now it's copied to my clipboard. I can go send it in Facebook. You know, I like to paste it in Teamzy first so I can do some editing first to make sure I don't send it with the wrong name. So I'm going to change the name. Okay. I'm going to add and some emojis, you know, personalize a little bit. Okay. Computer's a little lagging. There it is. Okay. Sometimes when you're in Zoom, the computer lags a little. There we go. Now I got it working. So, you know, whatever emojis you want to do. I can do at least 2. So now I've got this just the way I want it. Again, don't overthink it. You can change it a little, but don't overthink it much. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy this so that I can send it to her in Facebook. Okay, so here we go. I'm sending her this message in Facebook. There it is, send. Again, don't stand there and look at it too long. Don't overthink it. People always go, would you read their Facebook wall before you send the message? And I say, no. If they respond, I'll read their Facebook wall. Does it make sense? Okay, so what we do is, what kind of activity was that? It was a Facebook activity. Click on the big blue log connect button, done. So that connect is logged, and now my list has moved up. Now, if I scroll up, I want you to see I've got 1 done, 8 left. See this little blue circle starting to fill in. Who's up next? Jay. Jay's up next. So I can just use that same script. It's still on my clipboard. Just paste it in there. Change the name. Now I already have my emojis the way I want them, and I'm getting quicker and quicker. Fast and efficient. That's what we want. So just toggle over here, look for Jay. Now, over time, you can actually save those Facebook Messenger links in Teamzy, in which case I would just click on, I could go right here to details, and she would have, her Facebook link would be here, and I could just click it. I wouldn't have to look her up. Does that make sense? But it doesn't take me more than a second to look it up, so I never bother putting the links in. All right, so now I log it. I've got 2 done. 7. Do you see how this is filling in? So what you're going to do in your power hour is you're just going to go down the prospects list and just send a message, just to make someone's day message, super simple, to however many people are your goal for the day. Mine was 9, so I would just go down my list 9 times and send a little message. How's it going? Quick little message. Okay. Now, some people will start responding immediately. I don't want you to run off and have a conversation yet. Stay focused, get all your outgoing messages done. Really, the power hour is just your outgoing messages. So we're going to send our prospect messages. This circle will go all the way blue. That's your visual cue. Done with prospecting for the day. Sweet. 10 minutes in, done with prospecting for the day. How many of you guys are excited for that? Then you go to the next list, which is customers. Okay. And we're going to stay in touch with our customers. We're just going to stay in touch with them. Now, really quick, same thing. There's some great scripts here, something simple. Okay. I'm going to get a great script for my customer. Something like, hi, John, how are you enjoying and you just take out the products, put in whatever, trim down trio. How are you enjoying your trim down trio? Please send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. How are you enjoying your zing? Are you guys with me? Super easy. Now, this is a great script for people you haven't talked to in a while and you don't know whether they're loving it or even using it. It's a great script for checking in. This is my favorite script, though, for when you're talking to the people you love. Hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. And some of you who've used Teamzy have probably used this script and been amazed at the responses that you get from it. It's so cool. So look, I'm going to grab that one just as an example. We're going to send it off to Melissa. You get the idea, right? Great. You put your emoji in, you go send it to her in Facebook, you log it. The same thing happens. Now this little pink circle starts filling in. We're going to stay in touch with our customers. Now, real quick, because I don't have a ton of time with you tonight, but staying in touch with customers is huge. Now, once you get past the first couple months, I know you guys have a specific plan where you like to follow up at certain sequences. But once you're past that, you can just let them in the Teamzy flow and just stay in touch with customers. Because let me just tell you what happens when you're in regular contact with customers. First off, it's good service. How many of you guys want to provide good service? Yeah, I mean, it's good service. But second of all, statistically, if you're in regular contact with customers, they order more product and they retain longer. Okay, so let me just say, not because you use some super script, no, just because you're in contact, just because you're there, because you're present. Statistically, they order more product and they retain longer. How many of you guys would like that for your customers? Yeah, and how would you like that for your teams? We want everybody's customers to order more and retain longer, right? And what happens is when you're in contact, they say, oh, I saw you posting the other day about peach flavored, like, what's that all about? Should I get some of that? They'll start adding to their order because they feel more engaged with you. And it's different. It's totally different to say, is there anything I can do to make your day? Than, is there anything I can add to your order? You see the difference? It's just, it's just being present. But the other reason that I love for staying in touch with customers, and I know Denise is coming through my boot camp, a couple of other ones, I think on this call, possibly been through our boot camp too. And, we spend a whole week on this concept. But how many of you guys have at least one or two customers that you just love and you wish you could just take a hair and somehow clone these people into new customers for yourself? How many of you guys have people like that? Yeah. So how do you do that? I mean, well, we can't actually do that, but how do you find new people like that? And some of you are like, I know the answer, so I'm going to tell it anyways, even if it seems obvious. The best place to find a great customer is from a great customer. There's no better place. Because think about it, that person that you guys thought about just now when I asked you that question, they love what you're doing. They love the products. They're probably getting great results. And here's the thing is, those people talk about it. They're telling people about it. People are saying, you look great. What are you doing? Xyngular. What? What is it? Is that a cell phone company? Oh no, it's with an X, right? So they're telling people about it. This is happening. Denise is laughing. She knows it's true. This is happening right now. So the question is, and I want you guys to know a statistic, 82% of North Americans say they make purchasing decisions based on the recommendation of a friend. 82% of North Americans, that's us, right? Say they make purchasing decisions based on the recommendation of a friend. It's the friend's recommendation that matters the most. It's not the cool thing that Xyngular just made, the video, right? It's the friend's recommendation. Your customers are talking to their friends already. Those people are very likely to purchase this. The question is, are you getting introduced to those people? How are they finding it? Are they finding you? Are they Googling it? Are they finding somebody down the street? You need to be getting introduced to those people. Those people will likely trust you immediately because their friends do. But your customers aren't thinking about introducing their friends to you. That's not on their mind. Does this make sense? So you have to be getting introductions. And so that you can't ask people to introduce you to their friends if you're not in regular contact, right? Make sense? I know we haven't talked. Thank you for putting in your order and continually reordering for the past 18 months. I know I haven't talked to you in 18 months, but could you introduce me to your friends? Because I need to grow my business. How's that going to go over? No, but when you're in regular contact and you're just, you're having a great relationship with somebody, then I can reach out and say something like, hey, Peggy, it's been a while since I checked in on you. I just wanted to let you know how proud of you I am for all the progress that you've been making. You've really stuck to your commitment and I'm really proud of you. What's she going to say? She's going to say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's so great. I couldn't have done it without you. And I'm going to say, well, I'm just honored and grateful that you chose me. And I'm grateful for your business. And I imagine probably you've talked to people. I'm sure you've had friends or family asking you what you're doing. People are probably interested in learning more about it. Before I get too busy this month, with my, with the business that's happening, I wanted to check in with you and see if there's anyone you care about who might need more information. She says, well, yeah, my friend Heather and I were just talking about it today, ironically. Oh, really? Well, would you mind introducing me to Heather? Whatever's easiest, group text, group chat. I'll get her some more info. Sure. What does she do immediately? Heather, meet Eric. Heather's like, oh, hi, Heather. Nice to meet you. I've been helping Peggy with Xyngular. Oh, Xyngular. Yeah, she told me about that. She has no idea who I am, right? Does this make sense? But getting introduced, now I've met Heather. Guess what I'm doing with Heather? She's going in my Teamzy account. I'm going to, she might want something right now, but in many cases she'll say, okay, yeah, I'm kind of interested, but maybe send me some info. No, I'll do better than that. I'll just stay in touch. If you have more, if you want some info, I'm here. Right. And so now I've won the lottery because I've been introduced to somebody who's now in my Teamzy. Now it's somebody I can build a relationship with over time. My goal is not just for her to order her package, but for her to become my advocate. Does this make sense? Do you guys see how this works? Do you know how much more fun it is to work with friends of friends than strangers? Right? Because they already trust you. It's so much better. So much better. All right. Sorry, I beat the dead horse a few extra times. Let's get back in here to our power hour. So we're going to connect with our customers as they come up. Again, my goal is 6 customers. By the way, a little side note too, past customers, count them the same as current customers. They're only past in your back office. They're not past in their minds. Does this make sense? Stay in touch with them. Sometimes they get busy and they forget to take their product. Then it backs up, so they cancel. Then what happens? They use the product and now they don't have any. They've been meaning to connect with you. So stay in touch. So prospects, customers, then distributors. This is our team. We're going to stay in touch with our team. Same way. Send them a little message. Let them know you love them, that you're thinking about them. Ask them if they need anything. Right? Are you guys with me? By the way, we named Teamzy after this point. That building relationships with your team is so important. We could have named it Leadzy, Prospect Z, right? We named it Teamzy. Building relationships with your team is paramount. Why? I'm going to let you in on a dirty little secret. Some of you guys have already experienced this. The national average for turnover in our industry is 50% a year. What does that mean? That means that for every 2 distributors recruited in our industry, 1 quits within 12 months. Is that an exciting statistic to know? No, but it's important to know because you're doing all this work. Everything I've taught you so far is to build new people to come in, but you also got to keep people, right? That's how we get off the hamster wheel. We got to keep people. The number one way to keep people is by building relationship with them. And if I had time, I would give you guys 10 books to read on social science and things like that. But you guys know it intuitively. People stick to the business because they feel connected to you and the team. And if people stick around and stay connected long enough, typically they do pretty well. Typically they do pretty well. It's like you need to keep them connected. They need to be committed. I remember years ago when I was associated with Beachbody, the CEO just said, right, make a commitment to be here in a year. He used to tell people, make a commitment to be here in a year. And they had like a certificate that people signed. I'll be here in a year. Like they knew that if they could just get people mentally to say they're going to be here for a year, that they would be successful. Isn't that crazy? But as leaders, it's about relationships. And by the way, how many of you don't want to, don't you guys all want to have a team where you have great relationships with everybody? Yeah. So it's a win-win. It's fun for us. It's fun for them, but there's nothing that impacts retention more than relationship. Hearing from, think about it. Think about that superstar executive that you look up to and admire in your upline. Imagine right now, as I'm talking to you, get a little zip in your phone, and there's just a little message that says, hey, I was just thinking about you today. Congratulations on signing a new customer last week, or I'm really proud of you, or I haven't checked in a while. Is there anything I can do for you? How meaningful would that be? Think about it. And that's why we have Teamzy, is to help you build your team. Now, some of you guys have 3 people on your team. Fine. I get it. It's going to be easy to stay in touch with them. But that's not where we're going to stay. We want to help you grow a massive team. Does this make sense? And so you want to get those systems in place now. Some of you maybe there's people on this call who've never made a penny yet in this business, but I still want you to start planning this business as if it was a multi-million-dollar business. That's how you build a business. Make sense? So the first half of our power hour is prospects, customers, distributors. I know I've probably taken too much time. I'll speed it up here. Reaching out, just sending messages, whoever's up next. My goal was 19 messages. Let's say it takes you 30 minutes to send those 19 messages. If it's taking you a lot longer than that, you're probably overthinking it. Just get the message, change the name, fire it off. Are you guys with me? Okay. The second half of the power hour is follow-ups. Now I'm going to teach you guys how I built the follow-ups to work. And then I'm going to give you a little caveat for how a lot of Xyngular people are using it, which is kind of making their power hours a little longer. So I'm going to kind of explain the difference. Okay. You guys can pick what works best for you. People come up automatically on the prospects, customers, and distributors lists, no matter what you do. You don't have to set follow-ups for them. They cycle back on this list based on the star ranking number. You notice everybody has a number next to their name. That's how many stars I've given them. Okay. So it's a real simple system. 5 stars come back every 30 days. 4 stars come back every 60 days. 3 stars every 90 days. 2 stars every 120 days. So depending on how often you want to be in contact with somebody, you set their star ranking. Make sense? Then you never have to think about it. It just cycles your list. The concept here is that you want to talk more often to your best people, the people who trust you the most, because they're the most likely to either do business with you or introduce you to a friend, right? So we're going to talk to them more often. But there's a lot of people you know casually that would be very weird and annoying if you talk to every month. True? So we check in with them 3 or 4 times a year, and over time we build trust with them. Every time we check in with them, by the way, they're going to your social media pages and getting to know you a little bit better. I guarantee you. First thing they do, even before they respond, is they go look at your page. And so now they're feeling like they know you. Does this make sense? So you're building that relationship with them. So those come up automatically. The follow-ups, this is what typically I would use after I shared. So I'm talking with you. I send a nice message. I sent that nice message to Denise. She responds, great to hear from you, Eric. And now I have a chance to create a conversation, or at least I'm going to try. So I'm like, well, how have you been? What have you been up to? Just pretend like you bumped into him in the grocery store. What have you been up to? Tell me what's going on in your life. You guys have any big plans for Christmas? So now we're having a chat. Just easy chat. What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Right? And I'm telling her what's going on with me. She's telling me what's going on with her. Just having a normal catch up. It's been a while since we talked type thing. Nice conversation. Like I said, you guys, people are dying for this right now. They're desperate for it. It's like cool water in the desert. Somebody wants to have a conversation with me. Wow. Right? So have a conversation with her. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to ask a lot of questions. I'm going to be really interested in her. I want to know what's going on in her life, not because I'm waiting to drop the Xyngular shoe on her, but because I'm really interested and I want to find a way I can maybe help her in some way. Maybe it's not related to business. Are you guys with me? Maybe it's just related to whatever. She needs something. She needs help with something, right? It's Christmas. It's Christmas season right now and people are shopping. And so just so you guys know, like this is a way that every year I've been able to help people is people are looking for things. All right. I need to get that toy for my grandson. And where can I find it? It's like, oh, I just saw 6 at the Walmart on University Drive. Right? That's a way to help somebody. They're like, oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Like just little ways. That's an example. Little tiny ways to help that has nothing to do with the business. Look for those in the conversation. Does that make sense? We have 94-mile-an-hour winds right here, right now in North San Diego County. They're called Santa Anas. Have you guys ever heard of the Santa Ana winds? So we get these Santa Anas that come in from the desert, and this time of year, it's really hot, 80-something degrees, 90-mile-an-hour winds. It's really weird. It's like satanic feeling almost, right? At Christmas time. And so people are having roof damage and things from the wind. So like maybe that happened. Oh, I know a great roofing company. Let me send you their phone number. So find ways to help. But as I'm talking to her and she's telling me about her life and I'm interested in her, I'm going to tell her what's going on in my life. Well, here's what we've been doing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to tell her about what? My business. It's just totally normal. I don't know if I told you, Denise, that I started my own business. Oh, you did? Yeah, it's cool. It's a home-based business. It's with a great company called Xyngular. Have you ever heard of them? No. Oh, well, this is what they do. And this is why I'm so passionate about it, because it helped me and now I'm helping other people. So what we want to do, guys, is not be scared to talk about your business. It's part of just being a normal person in a conversation. You be interested in them and you tell them about what you're doing. And the most important thing for you to communicate is what you do and why you're passionate about it. what you do and why you're passionate about it. So when I tell her, yeah, I work with Xyngular, it's been amazing. I lost a lot of weight. It changed my life. Now I'm helping other people do it. It's been so cool. And through the pandemic, you know, I haven't been able to work all the time, but at least I've been able to do this. Wow, that's great. So people are almost always going to respond, good for you. That's great. Good for you. When you tell them what you do and why you're passionate about it, it's not about, I want you to look at this. I want you to buy this. I want you to try a sample. It's, this is what I'm doing and why I'm passionate about it. Oh, good for you. Are you guys with me? And then if she says, good for you, that's great, good for you. And I'm just going to give you guys the easiest way ever to introduce the concept of them being interested in it is you just say, yeah, if you'd ever like more information about it, please let me know. If you'd ever like more information about it, please let me know. Okay, you've just planted the seed. You haven't shoved it down their throats. But I guarantee you they're now more interested in what you're doing. They're going to be looking at your posts. And many people who trust you a bit already are going to say something like, yeah, send me some information. Right? So I wish I had more time to go into this, Denise, but you know, I don't have all night, but I'll let you train them a little bit more on the nuances of that. You can share some of the things that you've learned on another team call. But the bottom line is I'm talking to Denise. She's like, yeah, that sounds really cool. And I ask her, you know, she says, yeah, I'd like some more information. I say, great. Let's say my goal now is to get her on a call with me, live call, telephone. If you want to go old school, Zoom, FaceTime, face-to-face is better if you can do it. So I'd say, oh, well, you know, if you'd like some more info, you know, before I just send it, I'm not really sure what you need. Do you have 5 minutes to talk? And I just want to find out what your goals are and see if it's something I can help with, you know? And she says, okay, sure. So we jump on a call. I'll send you a link right now or whatever. So we're going to jump on a call and just talk for a couple minutes. I'll have some questions ready and I'll ask her. So what do you know, what's most interesting to you about what I said? Like, what are you looking to do? What are your goals? I'm going to ask her a bunch of questions. Now, this is coming from my experience as a business consultant for 20 years, you guys. And I will tell you right now that the first consultation is always, all I do is ask questions and take notes. Now imagine if you paid me, you know, whatever it would be for initial consult, $1,000 to come over for an hour. And all I did was ask you questions and take notes. Here's what I will tell you. Every single person says, that was the most amazing hour ever. Like, he's worth every penny. Why? Because I listened and I cared. Does this make sense? So that's what you want to do. Get on the call, ask questions. Don't go, well, Xyngular has this product, and I think you'd like this. Ask them questions. So what do you want to achieve? What are you hoping to do? You want to lose weight? Great. Why do you want to lose weight? Well, how much weight do you want to lose? And tell me what's going on with you. Are you eating well now? Or do you struggle with these things? Do you drink a lot of water in the day? Or do you drink other things? Do you drink a lot of soda? Like, what's going on? Just ask questions, right? And listen. And as you're going through this thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer a solution to her. Based on everything you're telling me, Denise, I think I have a solution for you. We have a great program that I think would be perfect for you. Here's what the program is, and here's how it's going to work, and here's how I'm going to help hold you accountable through taking it. Great. Perfect. Guess what this is, guys? This is a share. This conversation's a share. So what I'm going to do, Denise, I'm going to send you right now. I'm going to email you right now a link so that you can order this program that we just talked about. Along with that message will be some more information and cool, shiny videos from corporate about it. All the information you need to justify that emotional decision you just made. So I'm going to send that over to you right now. And go ahead and place your order. And then I'll connect with you tomorrow and see if you have any questions. Okay? She's perfect. So let me just show you how to do this, you guys. First off, she's not on my prospects list because I already connected with her. She doesn't come back for 30 days. So I'm going to look her up in the lookup bar. Okay? That brings me to her record, and I'm going to open up the Connect box, and I'm just going to log, you know, that was a, what was it? Video chat. I'm going to put in Teamzy all the notes from my Zoom, and then I'm going to click share. See where it says share right here? I'm going to click share. It's on the default, just connect. I'm going to move that share down to products because I'm sharing a product solution for her, okay? Boom. So now it's going to log as a share, and you can see it activated right here. This is the follow-up calendar. It activated it, defaulted it to 2 days, which you can change to any date in the future. I'm going to change it to tomorrow because I told her I'd connect with her tomorrow. Okay. So when I log this, you guys, you can see now I've got a follow-up scheduled on her record, and it has all my has all our conversations logged. If I go to my dashboard, you can see it logged as share. See that? And if I go to my follow-ups list, you can see there's Denise due tomorrow. Are you guys with me? So I've now had a great conversation with her. That conversation matured over time, maybe a couple of days till we got to that point where we got to jump on a Zoom. We had a great conversation on that call. I shared a solution. Now she's on my follow-ups list. Why is she on my follow-ups list? Because about 90% of the people won't actually make that purchase, even though they said they're going to do it right now. True? Hello? Are you guys? Yes? You guys experienced this? You thought you did something wrong. Nope. About 90% won't make that purchase. So we put them on that follow-up list. We plan to follow up. Why? Because we know that they got busy or whatever, and they didn't do it. So tomorrow, when she comes up on my power hour, guys, this is how it works. I do prospects, customers, distributors. I come to my follow-ups. If I have some due, you see that little number on top? It shows me I have some follow-ups due. So she would be due, and I would go to her, and I would send her a follow-up. Now, you can just use the follow-up scripts in Teamzy. Follow-up number 1. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Okay, super simple. That's one of my favorite scripts. I'm really proud of that one. It took years to get that one so simple. And it's just loaded with the right kind of caring and psychology. So there it is. Okay, we got the script just the way we wanted. I changed the name. I'm going to go send it to her in Facebook. Oh, here, we're still open. So I'm going to send it to her in Facebook. Okay. Sent. Now, what we do in Teamzy is we log this follow-up, just like a regular connect, and then Teamzy will ask us, did that complete the follow-up you had scheduled? I'm going to say yes. Add another follow-up. Let's say we'll follow up again on Friday. You can leave yourself a note. That one's going to be follow-up number 2. Add that follow-up. Done. So now it completed the follow-up and it added her again for Friday. Does this make sense? Super easy, you guys. Super easy. Nobody falls through the cracks. So this is the magic part. How am I doing on time? Time for me to be done, right, Denise? Okay. The follow-up is where it happens. So you create all these conversations every day in Teams. You're sending these messages. People are like, oh, it's great to hear from you. You're creating conversations. Over time, by the way, you will get really good at having the conversations. You may be a little bit timid at first, but just have the conversations. Pretend you're in person. Pretend you bumped into somebody at the store and you're catching up. Okay. Then as you share, you're going to follow up on the share. You're going to keep following up. Now, statistically, it takes 7 to 10 follow-ups for most people to convert, for most people to actually make the purchase. Right? In fact, I think it's 80% of all sales happen between 7 and 10 follow-ups. So I got a couple of blank stares from you guys just now on that one, because that doesn't sound fun, having to follow up that many times for a sale, but that's the truth. Now, here's the thing I want you guys to know. There is a way to follow up without being annoying. How many of you guys are worried about being annoying now because you have to follow up so many times? Yeah. So there is a way to follow up without being annoying. I'll teach you really quick. But I want you to get this concept first. Just show of hands. How many of you, let me look at your faces real quick. How many of you truly are here because you want to help people? Like you really believe you can change people's lives. Like that's why you're in the business, right? Good. Good. You're my people. Good. Thank you. Thank you for Denise for bringing my people to me. As great as Xyngular is, until they have it in their hands, it's not going to help them. Make sense? The comp plan can't help them if they're not part of the team yet. The only thing you have that can help them is your ability to follow up with them. Does that make sense? This is where your caring comes into practice. I like to say it like this: following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. And some of you need to write that down and put it somewhere where you see it every day to remind yourselves. Following up is an act of love. When you come to me, when Denise says, I'm interested, here's my problem, I say, here's my solution. She says, great. And I'm like, oh, great. She's excited. I'm so excited to have her as a customer and work with her through this. And then she doesn't place her order. So I follow up. She doesn't respond. I follow up. She doesn't respond. I follow up. Crickets. Anybody relating to me right now? Now what's wrong? She's not responding. She must not like me. I must have offended her. I heard her husband can be kind of mean. Oh, it must be the economy. Maybe it's the election. It's probably the election. Everybody's upset in some way about that. Or no, it must be taxes. It's taxes are coming up. We start creating stories to explain why she's not responding, don't we? Here's the thing. People just don't respond because they're busy with their lives. It takes 6 or 7 before most people even respond back the first time. Just want you guys to understand this. Now, I told her I could help her and that I wanted to help her. She said, thank you for that. If I follow up 3 times and she doesn't respond, and because she's busy or whatever, and I stop because I've created a story in my mind of why she's not responding and now I'm mad at her, what I effectively communicate to her is, I don't care about you. I really did just want the sale and you're making it hard, so I'm moving on. That's what people receive. Now think about it. You received that same message from somebody or some business at some point when they didn't follow up anymore, didn't you? Following up is an act of love. Now, done right, Tina gave me both hands when she didn't want to be annoying. So I'm gonna just for you, everyone else can benefit, but just for you, I'm gonna teach you how to not be annoying. But coming from the place that following up is an act of love, you're not gonna be annoying. If your heart's in that place, it's not gonna come across that way. Does this make sense? But there's 2 principles. Follow these 2 principles. Just use my scripts. I put 10, by the way, 10 scripts in Teamzy, numbered, follow up 1, follow up 2, follow up 3. Just go in order. You guys can count to 10. Right? But here's the 2 principles. Principle number 1, don't ask them to do anything. Don't ask them to do anything. Don't ask them to respond. Don't ask them to text you. Don't ask them to do anything, okay? Because that can be annoying. So we're not going to ask anything of them. They know what you want them to do. You already had the conversation. We're just reminding them each time we connect. Make sense? The second principle is keep your message short enough they can read the whole thing without opening it. Keep your message short enough they can read the whole thing without opening it. Why? Because most of the time, they will not open your follow-up message. Why aren't they going to open the follow-up message? Because they don't want you to see that they read it if they're not able to respond. Do you guys ever do this? Like you're just in the middle of something. The dog's thrown up on the baby, you're cooking dinner, whatever, you're driving your car, and you're like, you want to know what the message says, but you also don't want to send that read receipt because you want to buy yourself time. So what people will do though, 100% of the time, is they will look at their phone and read the message without opening it on the lock screen. So you guys get this, right? All you want them to do is see your message. That's 100% success. They saw the message. That's all you want. That's all that matters. I mean, you want more, but that's success. If your message is too long and they can't read the whole thing without opening it, they feel annoying. They feel annoyed because they don't want to open it and now they have to know what the message says. Make sense? The same thing with sending just voice messages a lot of times for follow-ups. I have to be able to be in a quiet place to hear a voice message, which is very rare in my house. How many of you guys, it's very rare that you have a quiet moment to listen to that stuff. So I have to remember to do it at about 10 p.m. when all the kids are gone, asleep, and right, and everything's died down. It's like, oh, I got to remember that I have voice messages from earlier today that I have to listen to. So just keep it easy, short, sweet, written. They can read it without opening it. Those are the 2 principles. If you do, Tina, you got those? Do that. They won't be annoyed. Here's what will happen. After 9 or 10 follow-ups, people will say, thank you so much for staying in touch. I really appreciate it. Really? And then you're going to message me, Eric, it works. I know. I mean, I get a message from somebody every day. This really works. I know. I know it works. It works. Why? Because it's genuine. It's genuine. They know you want to help them. Does this make sense? Now, just real quick on this. I'm not trying to tell you I never got skeptical people that would say things like, you're just trying to make a commission. Have you guys ever had somebody say something like that? Or you're just trying to make some money, trying to get a sale? I'm just going to give you my quick overcoming objection on that. Listen, honestly, Denise, I just want you to know that if you purchase this, this package, I'll probably make about $40 in commission. And I would be incredibly grateful for that because it's how I make my living. I'm grateful for it and honored that you would choose me. But that $40 commission is not going to be life-changing for me and my family. The reason why I'm staying after you and trying to help you is because this product could be life-changing for yours. So you guys got that? I told people whenever somebody gave me that objection, I told them exactly how much money I would make. The commission on this order is $27.82, which I would be grateful for every penny. but it's not a life-changing amount for me, but it could be for you. Are you guys with me? So you just gotta, your heart leads and your system follows your heart. And the Teamzy system is designed for that. Connect with people, make someone's day, have a real authentic conversation with them, look for ways to help them and care for them. And I guarantee you guys, you create tons of opportunities to talk about your business, tons of opportunities to sell and to recruit. It's like, you know, you can go to any network marketing training and show this video, and they would go, that doesn't work because it's too passive. You're not asking people about the business enough. I'm telling you right now, the people that we have are doing bigger numbers than anyone doing those other systems, because really genuinely caring for people creates tons of opportunities to have genuine conversations about your business, to do what you want to do, which is really help people. Does it make sense? So this is rinse and repeat every day. You go into Teamzy, you do your numbers, you message those people, you do your follow-ups that are due. What you will see is after a few weeks in, you'll start seeing conversions. Every single month, if you've been doing this a while, you will see consistent conversions. Some of those people might have been on the follow-up list for 3 months, 6 months, some of them 2 days. But every month there will be conversions. Does this make sense? And it becomes consistent. And as you're doing it for a while too, all the new people are coming in, are being introduced to you, which is game changing because you're working with people left and right who trust you. Make sense? Okay, real quick, I'm going to give you guys some action steps, and then I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a chance to ask me questions. Somebody's asking, oh, what was the caveat for follow-ups that are making people take longer with Xyngular? So what's happening is when you guys get a new customer, you set, I don't know, how many follow-ups do you set for that person? 5, 6, 7 follow-ups for that person. Typically, this is something that just Xyngular people do. So you get a new person and you set all those follow-ups that you want for the first few weeks. The problem that I've been seeing is that some Xyngular people set follow-ups for every single customer in their database. And so their customer list never cycles and everybody's on the follow-ups list. So when they get to follow-ups, now they've got 600 follow-ups due today, which causes overwhelm and they freeze. Okay. What I'm telling you is, you know, great. You get a brand new customer and you want to talk to them every week. Great. Set a few follow-ups, but then let them go into the Teamzy flow. Let them go into the Teamzy flow. The truth is we don't need to talk to every one of our customers every month. It's too often. Let it flow more naturally. Does it make sense? Let it flow more naturally. If you go to a 5-star restaurant, the servers are always present, but they're never there. Have you noticed that? They're just like, they're nearby. They're watching you. When they see your eye twitch, they come over. Yes, ma'am. Right? They're present, but they're not hovering. Does this make sense? Have you guys ever been to like, oh my gosh, I had at a 5-diamond restaurant one time where everyone on the table gets one of those silver things at the same moment, bing, and they ring when everybody gets a serve. Oh, it was incredible. And there was 6 of us having dinner and we had 6 servers. Every one of them stood about 50 feet from us, and each one of them with their eyes on each customer waiting for us to do anything. If you like scratched your ear, they'd come over and say, did you need something, sir? And they'd be gone. It was just like amazing. So that's kind of like the service that you guys provide. You're there, you're present, you're available, but you're not annoying. Make sense? Okay, so let's get in here. I'll give you your action steps real quick, and then we'll do some questions. Here you go. Real simple action steps, guys. Real simple action steps. First, go to teamzy.com. Actually, teamzy.com/Xyngular to get your 30-day free trial. If you go to teamzy.com, it's fine, but there'll be 90-something choices. Make sure you choose Xyngular from the dropdown, okay? And set up your free trial. If you're in a free trial now, set up your subscription so that when the 30 days is up, you know, you can keep going without missing a beat. After the 30 days, monthly, Teamzy's $19.95 for Xyngular distributors. So it's like 60 cents a day, you guys, to have everything planned for you, tracked. It's a no-brainer. I also recommend you choose a 30-day success partner to do the trial with you. It really help you get the most out of it. We do this in my boot camps. It's super effective. What you do with your success partner is you say, hey, look, let's do this together for 30 days. Share your goals. You know, this is what I want to do every day. What do you want to do every day? And then when you're done with your power hour for the day, just take a little screenshot of the dashboard when it's completed and message it over to your success partner. It's such a powerful layer of accountability. And it's very annoying, by the way, when your success partner has done it and you haven't. But in a good way. It's annoying because it's like, ugh, and I got to go do it. And I also challenge you guys to take my 5-day challenge. Okay, what is that? I want you to connect with 100 people in 5 days. I want you to use Teamzy 5 days in a row and average 20 outgoing connect messages a day for 5 days. You could do that, right? Now, here's the thing with this 5-day challenge. It's going to blow your mind. The reason why I'm challenging you to do this is because it will blow your mind. You will be amazed at the response you get. This isn't like an Eric Worre challenge where we're going to send some cheesy script and to 100 people and 99 of them are never going to talk to you again. No offense to him. I love Eric Worre and I want him to know that I can't wait to speak at his event. So he needs to invite me to that. But I'm just saying some of the old school scripts, that's what happens, right? This is make 100 people's day. Make 100 people's day. See what happens. It's going to blow your way. First of all, you'll never be able to make an excuse again about why your business is not moving or that you can't create momentum or that it's a slow time of year or whatever. Okay, just get it done. Do boom. Belated, right now you could send somebody, hey, a belated happy Thanksgiving. Happy belated Thanksgiving. Hope you had a great day. How the heck are you? Boom. 100 times. Or just use my script number 1. 100 times. It will blow you away. Okay, you guys with me? You got those? Those are your action steps. Okay. Bless you guys for listening to me talk so long. I'm sorry I kind of went off. It's Denise's fault. She's right in the center of my screen going, more, give us more, give us more. So I just kind of poured it in there. But if you guys have questions, here's what I want you to do. Just unmute, ask away, and I'll answer a few before we go on our way.
So I actually have a question. I was with a different MLM thing like some time ago, probably 4 or more years ago. Mm-hmm. And I still have all of my contacts, and a lot of them, I don't even remember their face, but they're all in my phone. How do you reconnect with those people without sounding like an asshole?
First thing I would do is, are you connected with any of them on social media?
A few, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so those are the easy ones, right?
Yeah.
I would just send them a message. It's one of the scripts in Teamzy. I think it's the 2nd or 3rd script. Just connecting scripts. It's something like, it's been a while since I checked in with you. How are you?
Okay.
Hope you're having a great day. Hey, it's been, or you can say, it's been forever.
Yeah,
since
right.
I've checked in with you. You know, I just wanted to check in to see how you're doing. That's all. And then look, if the thing is that most people appreciate it. If they don't, people are like, why are you messaging me?
Right.
Then just take the challenge. Go, well, I'm just kind of going through my phone and reconnecting with people. And I know that everyone's been really disconnected through the pandemic. And I just honestly just checking to see how you are.
Just want to say hey.
And see where it goes. Now, every once in a while, somebody will respond in a weird way. And you're like, delete that one out of Teamzy. That's going to happen.
Yeah. That's
going to happen. The other thing, Rebecca, you being female, some of these might be men. You just got to be real careful that they don't think you're flirting, and guys are dumb and they will. So, yeah. So, like if just a couple tips on this, because people ask me this all the time. Are you married?
Yeah.
Okay. So that helps. So
yeah.
You use your husband's, talk about you and your husband, and he uses his name in messages, like I was talking, what's your husband's name? Adam and I were talking the other day. You came up, thought I'd say hi. How the heck are you? Or you ask, if they have a spouse, you ask about them. Like, Eric, how are you and Lisa doing? So that just helps. Like, this is not me trying to flirt.
Like it, hang out with you or something.
Yeah. Because I get this question all the time, boot camp work, and it never really occurred to me because it happens less with guys than it does with the other way around. Where
we don't just automatically think you're flirting.
Yeah, some people have shared with me the responses. I'm like, okay, so I actually did this whole little thing, like what to do when people are inappropriate, because it does happen. But yeah, so just reaching out, just reconnect with people. I had some great conversations with people that were Facebook friends with me, and they would come up on the list. I'd look them up on Facebook and go, I don't even know who this person is. I'd click on Messenger and we never talked. So I'd send them that message. And I had this one, it was hilarious because she said, "How do I know you?" was her first response.
Yeah.
And I said, "I was honestly wondering the same thing, but we've been Facebook friends for 2 years." And she's like, "How did we get connected?" So it became a mystery. And I was like, "Well, what do you do for a living?" And she's like, "I'm in real estate." I go, "It must be from real estate because I know a ton of real estate people through my consulting business." And she's like, "Do you know this person?" "No." "Do you know this person?" "No." We couldn't figure it out. And then after about 4 days of back and forth messaging, she says, this was back, I did beach. Some of you guys know the story. I did Beachbody before Teamzy. She's like, "So you help people you do Beachbody, you help people get in shape?" And I go, "Yeah." So what was happening is she was going on my social feeds and looking at it, right? And she goes, "Maybe we should talk because I need to lose some weight." So it turned into a customer for my business, right? The thing is that it wasn't like I was like, "Hey, you who I don't know, here's my link. Go check out my site and see what you want to buy." It was just like, "Hey," it's like, "Why are you messaging me?" And I was like, "Well, I've just decided that I want to actually have a relationship with everyone I'm connected with and see how they're doing." People are like, "Oh, that's cool." Does that make sense?
Yeah. And then I have one more really quick question, because I think you brought up a really interesting point with the birthday card. Whenever I sell a kit, before they get their kit, they get a thank you card from me.
Yeah.
But it's handwritten, like it's
Perfect.
authentic. I didn't like mass mail it or something. Is that a waste of my time, or is that?
No, that's a great use of your time. Handwritten personal notes are the best thing you can do. Now, most people don't have time to do it all day long.
Right.
But whenever you can do that or find a reason to do it, it's a great thing to do. I actually do I have any here that I can show you? I have, there's lots of companies that do printing where you can get custom things made. I use moo.com. They're a little bit pricey, but their stuff's real fancy.
So cute though. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of fancy that way, but I had my, my design guy take the Teamzy logo and create like a modern art look out of the logo. He just like cut pieces out of it. And I had these cards made at Moo that have like the design on one side, the other side is blank. And then it has the Teamzy logo in the corner. I had him make me those so that I could send handwritten notes. So like, if I was you, I would have some cards made that say Xyngular and your name and stuff, like really pretty. That's the card. And then it's blank. So you write notes in that, because it's like the highest level marketing you could give somebody. They're going to keep it forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I just write in there, thanks so much for trusting me with your health.
Yeah. And I even have scripts in Teamzy for writing cards, by the way.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. I mean, because they're so powerful. I tell you guys a story. In the recession in 2008, I got laid off at the end. Actually, I made it all the way through the end of 2009 before I got laid off. I was like the last one laid off. And I ended up going to work for this digital marketing company for about 10 months, which kind of got me into the whole techie thing, right? But I had to impress the CEO that I was qualified for this job I had no knowledge of. And what happened was I interviewed with his executive assistant first, and I just took notes on everything he was looking for. And then I wrote her a note, personal note, thanking her for her time. And then I went to Barnes and Noble and I spent the entire day skimming books on the topics that he was interested in. And then I went in and interviewed, right, and got the job. But that's not even the story. The story is I worked there for 10 months. It was a great experience. And when I left that company, I went in to sit with his executive assistant to do my exit interview and go through all of my paperwork. And I saw on her desk behind her the note I wrote her 10 months earlier, like a Christmas card on display on her desk, the only one. I mean, how impactful is that? So my point is, you guys, like, don't underestimate the impact that you can have on people. It's huge. I mean, that was just a thank you so much for taking time to interview me today. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't like deep, like, about, I didn't know her that well, but it made it was so rarely done that somebody would invest the time to do that she kept it. So anyways, long answer to your simple question, Rebecca. Keep doing that. Any other questions? Let's take one more. Is there anybody?
Okay. I have one.
Yes. Hi, Kay.
Thank you so much for doing this. But I really think that we're a whole bunch of us on here that were misunderstanding what we're going to be talking about tonight. And we thought you were going to talk about boot camp and kind of how we need to do that and what that covered. And
Yeah.
so is there any way that you can give us just a brief synopsis of that and how to find out more about it?
Yeah. You want me to pitch my product to you? I can do that, Kay. Sure. See, this is what I'm talking about, you guys. See how that works? So boot camp, we built Teamzy, as you can imagine from just this, however long, a little more than an hour I've spent with you tonight. There's a lot behind the system and mastering it, right? And I wish I could stay here all night and teach it to you guys, but of course we need more time to do that. So what happened was after having Teamzy for a few years, we realized people needed more of the consulting and coaching that we do. And so I started doing trainings like this. And then I realized people needed a lot more. So we launched boot camp 3 years ago. And the boot camp was designed to spend more time on the major pieces of relationship marketing. So after a period of time, you could become, if not an expert, you can become an expert if you really apply yourself in boot camp. But at the very least, you would have all the skills you need to become really great at relationship marketing, right? The Teamzy software is just your daily tool. So it's like, it's like being a carpenter and having a truck full of power tools. That's Teamzy. And then boot camp is like teaching you the trade, right? So it's everything from how to actually go deep into creating these conversations, right? How to transition more naturally in the different ways you can transition to talking about your business. We talk about how to overcome objections, how to convert, what your social media strategy should actually be, as opposed to what people are teaching, right? We teach how to get introduced, how to multiply your customers, get introduced to their friends. We teach you, I have like a 13-step process on how to do that. So boot camp is about skill building on all these aspects of relationship marketing. Does that make sense? And so, but what we do is, it's not just education, it's application. So this week we're working on this, and you have action steps, and we expect you to do a daily power hour, right? So you're doing your power hour like I showed you tonight, plus you might have a couple other action steps as part of that power hour that are building that skill for the week. And you have accountability partners in there that hold you accountable. You have a Facebook group where we're all accountable to each other, where my business partner, Mike Lopez, and I are posting every single day, and we're engaged with you. You can ask us questions. So that's really kind of how boot camp is. Plus we also do live coaching Zooms throughout boot camp where we do additional stuff. So the boot camp has been huge. We've done it for 3 years, quarterly, 4 times a year for 3 years. We've had such incredible success, people going through boot camp. And I have to tell you, it's probably my most favorite thing in the world, because I get messages, even like the one that Denise gave at the beginning of tonight's call. People are like, this has been the greatest experience. I love it, type thing. For 2021, we're completely revamped. So I haven't even touched it, really. I mean, we've refined it over 3 years, but 3 years ago, I went to the studio and recorded the training videos. Mike and I did, and wrote the workbook, and that's been the same thing for 3 years. We're revamping it 100% for January. So it's going to be a completely new program. We've taken it, we were doing it for 12 weeks. And what we found is that by week 10 or 12, 3/4 of the people were, distracted doing other stuff. So we shortened it to be a 6-week program, but we actually added more content. So we used to do a once-a-week training. Now we do a twice-a-week training. So we're going through more topics and more training in a shorter amount of time. So it's just a little bit more fast-paced. But so the boot camp it's going to be launching on the 18th of January is when it opens, I believe. Oh no, it opens. I think registration opens on the. Registration opens on the 11th of January. I think it's somewhere right in there. And then boot camp's going to start like the 3rd week of January. We actually are doing
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
The way it works, is it like kind of on demand, or is it like you have to be there at 7:00 on Tuesday night?
No, it's on demand. So the way it works is, in your Teamzy account, you'll have a boot camp page that unlocks. And every Monday morning at like 3 a.m., well, it's probably 6 a.m. East Coast, right? every Monday morning, one of the videos will unlock. So you'll have a new piece of training that unlocks that you can go watch. And then every Wednesday morning, the new bootcamp, every Wednesday morning, the second one will unlock. So you'll have, and they're under 30 minutes. They're under 30 minutes long. They're not long. It's not like you have to spend a lot of time, but it's specific training on a specific thing that we're going to be working on together. Does that make sense? So that's on demand. So you'll have, through the 6 weeks, it's actually 14 trainings because we have a bonus. We have a bonus 7th week. It's called post week. So it's really not 6 weeks. It's really 8 weeks because we have prep week and post week, but you get the idea. But so you have those that are on demand, you do them as you wish, and then you post in the group every day that you're done. Like we expect you to post, I'm done. And you can post at any time of the day. People post all day long and all night long on the post, like I'm done. I did my tasks for the day. So there's all that accountability. But there will be a couple of times where we have a live Zoom, which if you can't make it, we record it. You know, the live Zooms are great though, because Mike and I are there and we answer questions and you can.
Well, that's great. It's just that my daughter is a senior and fixing to start soccer season. So if it was set times, I didn't think this was the best time to be doing it.
Oh yeah, no, it's as you need. We have people all over the world doing it. And you know, we get a lot of Australians, so they're like totally upside down on our times. It's really cool. The other thing about boot camp is for 3 years, we've charged $297 for boot camp. In 2021, we're offering it a new price of $197. So it's $100 less than we've charged. We're adding more content to it. I think it's going to be really great. And we wanted to make it so that more people have an opportunity to take it. So we can help more people with it this year. So if anyone's really interested in boot camp, we have a pre-sale happening right now this week through Sunday, where you can actually get your spot secured. And if you log into Teamzy, you'll see that link pops on the top of your Teamzy account right now, where you can actually sign up for boot camp this week for January and save your spot. If you miss this week, it's no big deal. You'll have an opportunity in January to sign up. We'll open it for a week. We typically only open registration for 1 week, and then everyone that gets in, and then we close it and we go work with those people. But so I know a lot of people are really interested in it and been talking about it and planning their year. The reason why we wanted to open, I've never done this thing where we open it in December, but I know we've got a lot of really serious people who are looking at 2021 as I'm going to go for it this year. And so I look at it like this is an opportunity for you to lock in your intention for 2021. You know, like lock it in, do it now before you spend all your money on Christmas gifts. Write it off. Plus you get to write it off taxes this year. So
and it'll be the 197. If you go ahead and lock in now, it'll still be the 197.
It'll be 197, correct? Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much.
Sure thing. So if you guys want to join us for boot camp, it will be a lot of fun. Plus you get to meet Mike, which you didn't meet tonight, but Mike is amazing. He is my best friend, my brother from another mother. He was my boss and mentor for many years. And then I had this crazy idea to start Teamzy. I took him to lunch and I said, do you think this is a good idea? He said, please make me a partner. That's how I knew I had a good business idea, because he's such a smart guy. So the way we got everyone else to invest and join Teamzy was they said, Mike Lopez signed off on this? I said, yeah, I'm in too. So as you guys get to know him, you'll understand that about him. But the reason why there's a Teamzy is because he agreed with it. And then after that, it was like, well, Eric, we know you're kind of crazy and a little too risk-taking and entrepreneurial. But Mike, he's a pretty solid guy. So we'll come along for the ride. All right. Any other questions? One more. No, we good?
Yeah, I got one. So videos in boot camp, do they stay? Do they stay there then for the entirety of you having Teamzy?
They will disappear? Boot camp, they will disappear. You'll have them for an additional month at the end of boot camp, and then the videos disappear. What you do get with boot camp, now all the other trainings in Teamzy you have lifetime access to. The reason why we do this with boot camp is we want people to take action during the boot camp period and not put it off. Does that make sense? So you have 4 weeks after boot camp in case you need to catch up. The other thing that we do, Chris, which is cool, is we give you a really nice workbook that you can download. So if you go through all the trainings and fill in the workbook, you basically have the manual of boot camp with you to take. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah,
But
it makes sense.
we're trying to put a little time pressure on you guys so that you actually get in there and get productive.
Gotcha. Hey, I've been doing Teamzy for a little bit now. And I was wondering, I just did it. I just went off what I thought.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot tonight, which is great. But I was wondering about adding, because I added a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I never added it to Teamzy because I added my whole Facebook and then I added people. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I add my Facebook friends again, will it duplicate?
No. If you add them again, it'll only bring the new people in.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
I want to make sure, because I've heard different things on that, and I just want to get that cleared up.
Yeah, if they have the same name, I mean, so they probably haven't changed their name in Facebook. So
Unless they got married or something, I suppose.
yeah, if they
Or
change their
something like
name,
that.
then you may get a duplicate or two. And we do have a merge tool on the team page where you can merge duplicate things. You know, like
Okay.
when you bring in LinkedIn, for example, people put MA after their name or whatever. So Teamzy thinks it's a different person. So if that's where you might get a duplicate where the name's slightly different. So that may happen occasionally, and you just merge those. But if they're coming from Facebook, they probably have the same name in Facebook, most likely, and Teamzy will ignore them. Teamzy will ignore them if they have the same email address too. So if they have the same email address or the same name, it will say this is a duplicate contact. We're not gonna create a new contact for it.
Makes sense. All right. Thank you.
Sure thing. All right, you guys. I know you guys are amazing. You hung out till the end. My wife's probably like, what was this in there? What were you talking for so long about? You know me. But I just want to say thanks. Denise, thanks for the opportunity to meet your team. I hope this was valuable for you guys. Hope it was something helpful. And welcome to our Teamzy family. I'm honored to be here, and I'm excited to work with all of you. So thanks so much for having me. God bless you all.
Well, we thank you very much, Eric, for taking your time and explaining boot camp to us too. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great night, everyone.
You
Thank
too.
you.